couple of years, I finally was able to visit my motherland again. And I must tell that I felt a little bit different. I just came back recently and I'm ready to share my impressions on this beautiful, enormous, and complex country with you. And one of the first things that I noticed is that a striking contrast. On the one hand, life seemed like just was going on in its normal way. People were going to the cafes, drinking their pumpkin latte, a lot of great restaurants, and cultural life is moving on. People are dressing up well, at least in St. Petersburg, and it seemed like normal, but at the same time, I felt like the air was kind of heavy. Well, not in the literal sense, but in the kind of emotional sense. And I mean, the obvious thing that the country is at war, but this avoidance of people to talk about it screamed more than if people were actually talking about it. So I wouldn't hear people discussing what's going on in the public transport. It was kind of silence around the topic, but at the same time, you could feel that something horrible is going on. You could see it by some of the ads that were trying to recruit soldiers to go to the military service by contract. And also, sometimes your mobile internet just stopped working. And when it happened first time, I was thinking like, what the hell? I just bought this SIM card with internet package. Why I cannot access it for a lot of hours? So I went to this mobile store to ask what's going on, and I realized that it's quite a common thing, and it happened because St. Petersburg and Leningradskaya Oblast was under drone attack. And to protect the city, they used this special equipment that basically was jamming the signal for the drones, so they couldn't see where to hit the target. And this jamming basically jammed also mobile internet as well. And sometimes there have been days when I didn't have internet like for the whole day. And as I didn't have my home line internet, only mobile internet, it was kind of like I was totally cut off from the world. So yeah, the contrast and these scary things, that's what I perceived the most. Another thing that I noticed is that it was very obvious that businesses lacked workers. I noticed it by several factors. A lot of my Russian friends or family members, basically, they told that there was absolutely no problems with job, finding a new one if you need, and the salaries actually got quite higher during the last, few years, unsurprisingly. And also in the stores, sometimes you could see these ads that we are looking for the workers, and indeed the salary offers were surprisingly high in comparison that several years ago that I remember. Some of them were comparable to the salaries in Spain, which are, yes, quite low for the European standards, but still it was not like this before. And yes, the reason, I mean, it's quite obvious. A lot of people moved out of Russia, and a lot of men with the age that is very active for the workforce, they are not working in the normal public businesses. They are working at war or in the related area producing things for war. One guy at the store even told me that he had to work for the 2 weeks without any single day off, 12 hours a day, just because they couldn't find anyone else. So the whole store depended on him. Another new thing for me that I don't remember that it was so popular before is basically a very heavy propaganda of the church. These Christian values or whatever. I mean, for you to understand, Russia never was really religious state. Because after the Soviet Union, which was, as you know, very atheistic state, Russia, despite most of the people consider themselves Christians and blah blah blah, but realistically, no one was religious, like very few people. And now I went to Russia and I saw so many mentions of the church activities, and one pope gave a speech, another pope visited a school. So it was quite surprising. I was thinking like, what the hell, what the actual fuck? We are not that religious. I mean, I'm gonna tell you that a lot of even European countries, I think, are more religious. For example, even Spain, I would say the conservative part of the society, way more religious than Russia on average. But right now, maybe things are changing. They try to promote these religious churching activities, basically, of course, with the idea, as I understand, to promote classical roles for family, men earning money, and women should do her biological role, is giving more and more kids to the state, because state needs babies, needs people. That's why. And also, not only they promote the religion in schools, they also try to promote the birth, basically to increase the birth rate by different actions. For example, I think I already mentioned that there are law in Russia right now that forbid propaganda of the child-free lifestyle. You cannot talk about it in a good light because you might be criminally charged. And also, another thing that got me very surprised, that for girls who are still students, not at school, but in technical colleges or in universities, if you are still studying, if you are a woman and you have a baby, you will have additional financial help, like 100,000 rubles, I think. So basically, yeah, it's incentive for very, very young girls who didn't finish their education to start their mother life. And you know what's especially crazy about this is that you can go enter the technical college when you are 15 or 16 in Russia, like after 9 grades at school. So if you are 15, you enter this technical college, you get pregnant, you will have this additional financial help. But if you are a girl and still in the school, after 9th grade you decided to go to the 10th and 11th grade, you will not have help, because, giving financial help, promoting, giving this incentive for schoolgirls to get pregnant, it's like a little bit bad, sounds horrible. So, but if you're in technical college, despite you can be of the same age, 15, 16, yeah, the incentive applies. I think it's quite crazy. I also noticed positive changes. For example, a lot of people told me that the corruption actually went down. Like services, public services, governmental services, and the bureaucracy actually went smoother even for me, because I had to do some bureaucratic shit, but I experienced practically zero problems in comparison with my previous times, where for me it was always such a horrible nightmare. But a lot of it got digitalized, and this governmental websites actually working well. I can compare with the governmental sites that here in Spain, it's a fucking nightmare, really, really bad. But there in Russia, went smooth. And the offline services as well. And they even were all polite with me. Because usually I remember when I went to some governmental institution to ask for a paper, it was always like, please someone shot me in the head, because I knew I will be treated like the last garbage, you know? But no, it was actually really nice, and not only from my personal experience, a lot of people are experiencing the same. Public transport works great, then online shops, amazing. For example, in Russia right now, if you want to buy clothes, there is a lot of online shops, but I know here we also have it. But they went even further. For online shopping of clothing, they have the pickup points. First of all, you don't pay in advance. You pay after you really get a thing. So there's pickup points with a wardrobe where you actually can try a thing before paying for it. So you can buy like 10 things, go to one of the closest pickup point to your house, and for example in St. Petersburg it's like a lot of them. You always can find several close to a place you live. Just choose what you like, pay for what you like, and that's it. The shopping is going so smooth there. Here in Spain, we don't have these kind of pickup points where you actually try the thing before paying for it. So yeah, in this aspect, it's really good. One thing that didn't change yet is the contrast in couples that you still can see so often. Very beautifully looking women with less well-maintained men. And the deeper in Russia you go, the more striking the contrast you will see. Women will be even more dressed up, even better, with high heels, and men, well, yeah, not good. Plastic surgery is still very popular among women and even girls. They like to pump up lips using Botox, pumping up cheeks, things like that. So quite often you can see on the streets women like that, and very young one as well, because still the beauty standards are a little bit, well, I would say outdated. I don't know, I don't like this kind of fake beauty, but someone might, they're right, okay. And not only it's because of the beauty standards, but as I've been told by some other girls, it's also showing off your status. You have money, then you can just inject, make your lips a bit bigger, so you show your higher status. So this way you expect higher status men paying attention to you. That's what I've been told. I don't know how it works, and apparently some high status men really are into this kind of beauty, whatever. So yeah, this reality hasn't changed much.